I am the Lord, and there is none else. There is no God beside me. And again, I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee. Hear it not as history, but as the living voice within you now. The Lord thy God in the midst of thee is mighty, not afar off, not to be imported, not to be persuaded, in the midst, mighty God, the only power of the universe, only power. Be still and know that I am God. Let us begin here, quietly, with a certainty that does not need to strain. Nothing is broken in God. What appears as brokenness is a picture drawn upon the screen of sense, an agitation of thought and feeling, but not the fact of being. God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. Very good is the truth of you, the truth of this moment, the truth of whatever rises to claim your attention. The I within is the life of that truth, and it is whole. Now, could you gently, without effort, whisper the word I? Just I. Notice it is closer than breathing, nearer than hands and feet. Do not chase it. Do not define it. Only notice I. Again, softly, I. There is a presence there that does not come and go, that does not age, that does not panic, that does not break. Before Abraham was, I am. That I is your life. That I is the might in the midst of you. You are not alone. You have never been alone. I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee. Isn't that wonderful? We have all been tempted to believe we must hold the world together with our will and our worry, yet the very attempt produces the mirage of fragments. Lay it down, just for this moment. Take no thought for your life. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which is not an event, but an ever-presence, the quiet sufficiency of the I that is God being itself in you. Be still. See through the appearance. What is loud in the nerves grows quiet before the simple recognition, I in the midst of you am mighty. This is not denial of experience. It is the unveiling of reality. As fog thins before the sun, so appearance yields when the heart rests in God. God, God, God. Let that word drop like a pebble into the lake of consciousness until the ripples smooth. No arguments, no fixing, only beholding. Here, now, safety. Here, now, sufficiency. Here, now, the one presence, one power, one life, living itself as you. Nothing is broken in God, and God is the life of you. Stand still and hear I. Now, since we have stood still and heard, let us look kindly and name what troubles the surface of our awareness. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. Do you hear? There is appearance and there is reality. Appearance is a claim in thought, a suggestion passing over the screen of sense. Reality is what God is and knows of himself. And because he is all, what he knows is the only fact. Brokenness, then, is not a divine fact. It is a human report, a rumor in the nerves, a picture without substance in the light of I. Well, how does it come? Quietly, like a shadow at dusk, it enters as unillumined perception. In the dimness, you see a coil on the path, and the heart cries, a snake, and the body agrees, and the breath shortens, and the world is suddenly dangerous. And then someone turns on a lamp, a rope. Was there ever a snake? For the frightened mind, yes. For the light, no. Isn't that something? Or, as we have laughed together, pink elephants prancing through the room, oh, very real to the one who drinks in the images, but they do not leave footprints on the carpet. You do not need to buy peanuts for them. You only need to sober the sight. Scripture gives us the lens. Thou art of purer eyes than to behold evil. If God is too pure to behold iniquity, then who, dear one, is seeing the brokenness? Not God. Therefore it has no divine witness. And what lacks God's witness lacks reality. We look not at the things which are seen, for the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. Brokenness parades in what is seen temporal, passing, a moving picture of suggestion. Wholeness abides in what is not seen, eternal, the eye that never fractures, the life that cannot be diminished. Now, the reasonable mind asks, well, can I fix the mirage? Can I reason with it? Argue it down? No. Turn on the light. The desert traveler does not wrestle the shimmering lake on the horizon. He lifts his eyes to the sun and discovers the path. So here, we are not fighting the appearance. We are unscaring the mind. We are not diagnosing reality. We are discerning the claim. We are not straining. We are beholding God, God, God. Let the holy name still the waters. Be still and know that I am God. If you would, let the breath be gentle. Inhale not to gather strength, but to relax effort. Exhale not to push fear out, but to let presence be presence. Say it once, quietly. I. The light is not something you turn on with human will. The light is already on, and stillness lets you see by it. I am the Lord. I change not. Therefore, reality does not waver with your moods. The waver is the appearance. The I is the fact. So we name the mirage accurately. Appearance, claim, suggestion, temptation in human thought. We grant it no law, no cause, no mandate. We do not feed it attention nor quarrel with it. We simply turn as a flower turns to the sun, and in that turning the shadow proves itself shadow. Brokenness entered as unillumined sense. It leaves as light is welcomed. And the light is I in the midst of you, mighty, gentle, ever present, the only witness to what is true. Now let us turn from the mirage to the one beholding. Identity is the hinge on which everything swings. Before Abraham was, I am. Hear that not as a monument in history, but as the living center of you now, high closer than breathing, nearer than hands and feet preceding your ages, outlasting your moods, unfractured by your yesterdays and unafraid of your tomorrows. Thus saith the Lord that made thee, and formed thee from the womb. Fear not. You are not a frightened personality seeking God. You are the place where God shows forth. Ye are the temple of the living God, not a rented room, not a way station, but the very dwelling where the I am lives, its life as you. Say it softly with me, and as you say it, feel the breath steady. I in the midst of me is mighty, again without strain. I in the midst of me is mighty. Notice the inward center take its gentle seat. Behold how the nerves answer to truth without our scolding. God, the only power, only power. Then what is this self I have been guarding and promoting? A concept, a mask, a role on the stage of sense. Identity is not the role. Identity is the life that animates it. The I that says I in you is deity announcing itself. Isn't that wonderful? The presence is not visiting. The presence is constituting your being now. Well, can this I depart? No. I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee. Can this I fracture? No. I am the Lord. I change not. That which changes is the costume of thought. That which is changeless is I, the one self we share, the one life appearing as many lives, yet remaining indivisible. In him we live and move and have our being, not outside, not alongside, but in. So we shift pronouns in our hearts from a little me reaching up to a far God, to I realizing I in the midst of me. Speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. This is the new posture, listening at the center instead of pleading at the circumference. Let us rest a moment in it. God, God, God. No reaching, no repairing, only recognition. The grace that seemed to arrive is discovered to be the very fabric of your being. Grace at your core, grace as your breath, grace as the intelligence that performeth that which is given me to do. The old self was forever trying to add holiness. The true self is holiness unfolding, itself without strain. Be still and know, not become, know. For the eye that is knowing is the very eye that is God, shining through the transparency of you, never broken, never apart, forever the might in the midst. Now that identity has unclasped our fists, we come to the turning from law to grace. Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, saith the Lord. The old habit calculates causes to secure effects. The new heart rests in the eye that is complete. If the eye within is the only presence and power, what is left for selfhood but beholding? Be still and know, and let God be God right now. A state of grace is not a mood. It is the ambiance in which law has no jurisdiction. Grace banishes, annihilates, wipes out physical law, mental law, law of cause and effect. He performeth that which is given me to do. It is God which worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure. Under grace, function replaces forcing, guidance replaces guessing, sufficiency replaces strain. God the only power, only power. Well, what then of our hands, our calendars, our minds? Take no thought for your life what ye shall eat or drink. Do you hear the mercy? Take no thought is not neglect. It is release from micromanaging outcomes and symptoms. When thought loosens its grip, inner government appears clearly in you now. The eye in the midst orders the hour, selects the words, opens doors no man can shut, closes doors no man can force. This is the crossing from cause and effect to presence and expression. We cease trying to pull strings and become witnesses to the life that expresses itself. I can of mine own self do nothing. As I hear, I judge. Results belong to God. The measure, the timing, the outward shape, leave them with the Father. Your part is to behold, to consent, to keep mind stayed on God until nervous system learns the rhythm of sufficiency and rests there. Let us do it now. God, 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 not to get God, but to attune to the presence here. Feel the breath become honest. Feel the shoulders remember their place. Speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. No planning, no pleading, listening. In this listening a word may come, or a quiet deeper than words. The work is done, for the Father within performeth that which is given me to do as effortless current, not as push. And so you are relieved of the burden of fixing. Grace is government. Presence is providence. The eye in the midst of you is mighty, and it goes before you to make the crooked places straight. Keep your gaze single, your step unhurried. Never look for results. Look to God. In quietness and confidence shall be your strength. Behold, and let the works appear in their season, shaped by love, signed by grace, without strain. Now we come to the gate, and it is simple. 2 movements like in-breath and out-breath, contemplation, then listening. First, we speak of God not to inform God, but to inform our sense. Then we fall quiet and let the inner word inform us. This is the practice. Leave your problem outside for these few minutes. Tell it kindly to wait on the porch. Enter as a beholder, not a fixer. Enter the sanctuary of wholeness. Begin with gentle, truthful sentences. God the only power, God, the one presence, only presence. I in the midst of me is peace. I in the midst of me is life. I in the midst of me is light. Say them softly, not to convince, but to consent. Be still and know that I am God. Let the word I settle until it is felt more than thought. I, again, I. He performeth that which is given me to do. The mind need not help. It may rest upon these lines as a bird rests upon a bough. Now, grow still. Drop words. Receive. Presence. Speak. Lord, thy servant heareth. This is a listening attitude, not a straining one. The Lord is in his holy temple. Let all the earth keep silence before him. Become that temple. Let the earth of thought keep silence. If a sentence wishes to rise, let it be a whisper like peace or simply God. Otherwise, be the quiet in which the whisper would appear. My sheep hear my voice, and you need not manufacture it. You need only be available. Sometimes there is a click, a softening, the weight sliding off the chest. Sometimes a wash of warmth. Sometimes only quiet that is honest. Do not chase any of it. Chasing is thought taking back the reins. Let what comes come, let what does not come not come. The imprisoned splendor finds its way out in silence, not by tugging at the bars, but by discovering there never were bars, only noise. If the problem knocks, bless it and set it again outside. We do not exclude and fear. We simply refuse to idolize appearance. Become the witness. Behold. If a scripture rises, let it rise as present tense. Peace. Be still. If a breath asks to lengthen, let it lengthen without technique. Quietness, not method, is the method. Confidence, not control, is the gate. Then, after a few minutes, open your eyes as one led. Do not analyze. Never look for results. Look to God. He leadeth me beside the still waters. Walk gently, and allow the eye in the midst to order your steps. Be still and know, and let grace dissolve the appearance without strain. Fear is a quick visitor, isn't it? It rushes in with pictures and pulses and words that sound very certain. But listen, judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. Fear lives on misseeing. The heart thinks it has seen a snake. The light shows a rope. The body trembles. The breath shortens. The palms grow damp, and yet nothing on the ground has changed when the lamp is turned up. Only sight has been corrected. And see what follows without commands. The breath lengthens. The shoulders soften. The mind unclenches. Perfect love casteth out fear. Love is the light, fear is the shadow packed tight with guesswork. Let us do a small thing now, not to fix, but to see. Place one hand, gently, over your heart, just one soft breath. Be still and know that I am God. Again, a simple breath that asks for nothing. God, God, God. We are withdrawing energy from the picture, not with violence, but with beholding. I in the midst of me is mighty. Notice how fear, which seemed so large in the dimness, already begins to lose its voice in the presence. Here is the trick named plainly. Appearances borrow their reality from our attention. They present a bill stamped urgent, and we in our kindness lend them belief. But the loan is revocable. We withdraw it in stillness. We do not shout. We do not argue. We do not pay more interest. We rest in God, and the debtor vanishes, because there never was substance there to collect. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee. Stayed, do you hear the firmness, the quiet honesty of that word? Oh, the pink elephants are very persuasive until dawn. They trumpet through the room at midnight. They march with great ceremony. They announce their titles, but they do not leave footprints on the carpet. When the sun comes up, where are they? So with the many forms of fear, statistics in the night, memories, prophecies of trouble, dawn them with God. Turn to the eye within, and let morning happen in you. It is I, be not afraid. Well then, should I rebuke my nerves, command my breath, scold my thoughts? No, gentle seeing. The rope needs no apology, the light no argument. Let the inner lamp be lifted. Say quietly, if a word will come, peace, be still, or simply I speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. Notice how, as seeing corrects, the body unwinds of itself. The jaw remembers its proper place. The hands forget to clutch. The thought that was hooked to panic finds it has nothing to pull against. The appearance was all hook and no anchor. Fear loosens when we behold the appearance as appearance and rest in God. Not by pushing it out, but by letting reality in. God the only power, only power. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Stay here a moment longer. Hand on heart, one more soft breath. In the midst of you, might. In the midst of you, peace. In the midst of you, life that cannot be threatened, because it is God being itself. And as the light clarifies sight, the nerves learn the lesson calmly. Nothing was broken. The rope is a rope, and the eye that beholds is safe, now and always. Now we take this seeing into healing. The instruction is simple and holy. Drop the patient and the condition. Whether it seems to be your body or your child's or a stranger's letter, let the whole bundle of diagnoses and timelines wait outside the sanctuary. If you carry the patient into prayer, you carry an idol. If you carry the condition, you carry its story. Enter empty, for only emptiness can be filled. I can of mine own self do nothing. The Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works. Be a hearer, not a fixer. Be a witness, not an operator. Sit. Let mind unclasp. Do not argue with symptoms. They belong to the realm of appearance and gain strength only by conversation. We will not converse. Short cadence now, God, God, God. And then silence. Be still and know. If a verse wishes to rise, let it be. He sent his word and healed them. Let it speak you. The eye within me doeth the works. Feel that line turn you from effort to consent, from hands on to hands off, while the presence takes its own way. Never look for results. Results are the province of grace. Looking for results is plucking up the seed to check the roots. So then neither is he that planteth anything, neither he that watereth, but God that giveth the increase. Leave the increase to God. Your part is beholding. Keep the gaze single until the heart becomes fact, God the only power, only power. When you rise, do so lightly, without testing, without telling the body what to be. Go about your hour with the inner word humming. It is the spirit that quickeneth. And if fear spikes, numbers shout, pain surges, a memory opens its mouth, do not wrestle. Return to stillness with the single word, God. Gentle breath, hand to heart if it helps. Speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. We are not blanking the mind. We are yielding the stage to the one actor. The eye in the midst orders, corrects, renews without our diagrams. Behold, I make all things new. When asked to pray for another, do not take on their picture. Drop the patient and the condition. Realize I in the midst of me is the same I in the midst of thee. One life, one self, one law of grace. Sit as before, God, 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 silence, then live the day as a witness. The works will appear in their own shape, in their own hour, signed by peace, and you will know by the still waters within that healing unfolded, because the I did the works, and you beheld, having learned to behold and to drop the patient and the condition. Notice what follows as you walk out into your hour. A hush that is not emptiness but government. He leadeth me beside the still waters. Not led once upon a time, not will lead if I perform well, but leadeth now, present tense, as natural as breath to a living man. The pattern is simple and holy. Stillness first, guidance second, outward harmony third. Be still, let the inner word sound in the temple, and then watch as the next step presents itself with a quiet inevitability that asks for no pushing. I remember a morning when the calendar had many arrows in it, and the world said, "Hurry!" At the curb, the mind began its little sermon on efficiency, but there was that other voice, softer, not dramatic, wait, not fear, not an argument, only a pause that felt honest. We obeyed. A breath. God, God, God. The light changed, and a car tore through the intersection from the blind side where we would have been had we served the calendar instead of the shepherd. Isn't that something? The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. Ordered, not guessed at, not managed by anxiety, ordered. The outward harmony was the fruit of an inward hush. Another time, an opportunity gleamed with the polish of advantage. The mind clapped, "Take it, this is your hour." But when we sat in the sanctuary and let the water still, the word behind us spoke, "Not this." No reasons were given, only a no so gentle it would have been missed had we been debating. We declined without drama. A week later, the fine print showed its teeth elsewhere, and the path that opened instead was sounder, saner, more gracious to everyone touched by it. Thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, "This is the way, walk ye in it," present tense. This is walk, not panic, not push walk. Provision, too, arrives by this law of quiet. There was a need one afternoon that numbers could not justify and worry could not correct. We sat. Take no thought for your life. God, God, God. In the stillness, a simple yes arose. Write a note of thanks to a man not heard from in years. No petition, no hint of lack, only gratitude. The note was sent, and before the sun slept, the phone rang with an introduction that solved the need in a way no spreadsheet could have predicted. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. The want did not shout itself away. The shepherd led us into green pasture by a path that began as silence. Do you see the rhythm? Guidance is not predicted by anxiety. It arises from presence. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path, a lamp for the next step, not a searchlight for 10 years hence. So establish the pause. God, God, God. Speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. Then move lightly with what is shown. Never look for results. Look to God. The eye within goes before you to make the crooked places straight, and the providences of quiet appear, not as miracles to amaze the mind, but as the native order of a life governed from within. He leadeth me. Now, and it is safe. Now, having seen how providence rises from quiet, let us name one of the modern winds that ruffle the surface, the thumb that cannot rest, the feed that never ends. Why does the hand reach again? Assurance. The soul longs to be told it is safe in form. So the world offers updates, and we kneel, and the heart reaches again. Take no thought for your life. Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. Withdraw reliance on externals. Thou shalt have no other gods before me, not even the glowing one in your palm right now. Here is a holy experiment as gentle as breath, a microfast. The moment you notice the pull to check, to scroll, to soothe the nervous system with novelty, stop, not with violence, but with reverence. Place the device face down. 2 minutes only. Be still and know, hand over heart if you like. God, God, God. Keep your mind stayed on thee. Speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. No feed, no fixing, just beholding. If a verse rises, let it be, thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee. Set a quiet timer, if it helps, then give those 2 minutes to presence, not to pixels. When the bell sounds, move on lightly without catching up. You have anchored the hour in reality. What happens then? We do not watch for results. We watch God. But you will notice, if not at first, then by and by, that the anxiety which rose like a siren begins to decrescendo. The breath tells the truth again, and the shoulders remember they are not props for the sky. My peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, give I unto you. The world giveth headlines and taketh away, giveth likes and taketh away. I in the midst of you am mighty. Presence does not refresh by event, it refreshes by being itself. Withdraw your faith from the feed and place it where it belongs, in the indwelling I. You'll be hooked on peace. And not the phone only. Many externals present themselves as saviors. Another cup, another opinion, another metric. Let your eye be single. Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So treasure the hush, trade one scroll for a psalm. He leadeth me beside the still waters. Trade one refresh for the name. God, God, God. Do this 2-minute fast many times a day until it is your custom and your joy. Never look for results. Look to God. You will find that the compulsion fades, not by force, but by being forgotten in love, and the day, governed from within, moves like a quiet river whose source is I. Now, when the hand has set the device aside and the hush is honest, let the ancient cadence be medicine to the nerves. I am the first, and I am the last, and beside me there is no God. Hear it not as history, but as heartbeat. The ring of those words has a government in it, measured, royal, unhurried, and the body, without being told, remembers how to stand under a king. Say it softly, and let it say you. I am the first, I am the last. Beside me there is no God. This is not concept. This is the tone of reality announcing itself. God, the only power, only power. The tremor that came with appearances meets that cadence and quiets because authority has entered the room. Bring it nearer yet. Before Abraham was, I am. Now, let it come home as now. Before Abraham was, I am. Here, within your very breath, not future, not then here, closer than breathing, nearer than hands and feet. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Make it your soft refrain. Fear not, for I am with thee. Fear not, for I am with thee. Each time the mind would reach into what if, return, I am with thee. I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee. The words do not persuade a far God. They unclutter the ear, so the indwelling eye may be heard. Speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. Let the weaving be simple. On the in-breath, I am. On the out-breath, here. Or, if a wave rises, ride it with the Nazarene's word. Peace, be still. Or the psalmist's, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Do not pile verses. Sip them. One line, repeated into stillness, is a key that fits the present door. And notice this is not magic syllable, but alignment with what is. As the Buddha, seated under the Bodhi tree, beheld Mara's parade as show, the hypnotism ceased, not by wrestling, but by seeing. So here judge, not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. The mantra clears the glass, the false colors drain away. Carry a few of these lines in the pocket of your hour. When the world tugs, answer with scripture as now. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, a lamp for this step. This is the way, walk ye in it, this, not tomorrow's maze. Whisper, God, 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 and then abide in the quiet that follows. Never look for results, look to God. Grace dissolves the appearance without strain as the word settles the heart into what already is. It is I. Be not afraid. He leadeth me beside the still waters. I, in the midst of you, am mighty. Let the mantra be the river, and rest your boat in its current until the shores of the day pass by in peace. Isn't that wonderful? Now, let us lay this in the fabric of the day. Begin simply once in the morning, once in the evening, a few minutes, contemplation, then listening. Do not turn it into a project. Turn it into a pulse, rhythm, not pressure, like tide, like breath. By and by, morning and evening will ask for a noon. Once or twice becomes three without command, as a plant turns toward light without a memo. Be still and know. Let the hour learn you're normal, and let the nerves discover they are carried. I, in the midst of you, am mighty. God, the only power, only power. If you miss a sitting, smile and begin again. Grace teaches by gentleness. Never look for results, look to God. Results under grace do not arrive by tracking. They arrive as overflow, like water clearing after the wind sleeps. Keep a little notebook, not for symptoms and scores, but for glimpses of stillness. Honor presence, not performance. Write the hour, a line of scripture that met you, the felt sign, a softening, a warmth, a clean silence. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. This humble record is not to prove to yourself that prayer works. It is to bow to the one who works and to train the heart to notice the invisible government. God, God, God. Speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. Isn't that simple and relieving? Add, when you can, the sweetness of a shared hush. Where two or three are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. Not more words, more presence. Sit with others in silence. A small circle in a living room, 5 minutes before a meeting. A pew where no one sells God to anyone. Let there be a brief contemplation, God the only power, I in the midst and then listening. The community field steadies the skittish mind the way a flock steadies a single bird. You may feel the inner click sooner, the rest come deeper, because love is consenting through many doors at once. Behold, be still, let grace accustom the group to quiet government, then carry the rhythm as a benediction. As you step, let the heart whisper, the I within goes before me to make the crooked places straight. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, 1 foot, 1 lamp. During errands, between calls, at the sink, 2 breaths, God, 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 no strain, only remembrance. By and by you will find you are hooked, not by duty but by peace. Habit has become habitation. Take no thought for your life. He leadeth me beside the still waters. At night, lay the day in his hands, and sleep as one kept. Beloved, we have watched the wind spend itself, and the waters clear. What called itself brokenness has shown its face as mirage, snake seen in dusk, rope in the light. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. Reality is not fractured. God is indivisible, and God the only power, only power. I, in the midst of you, am mighty. This is the center and the circumference of our living. The I that formed thee from the womb is the very life that beholds and performs here, now. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Be still and know that I am God. Nothing is broken in God, and God is here. We have learned the simple gate contemplation, then listening. Speak the truth to soften sense, then let the inner word order the hour. Speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet. We cease fixing, we behold. We drop the patient and the condition, and the I within doeth the works. Never look for results, look to God. Grace governs. Providence unfolds without strain, and the day walks itself beside still waters, because the shepherd is not absent, he leadeth me. Let us seal this in the way of spirit. One quiet minute, right now. Lay every image outside the door. Turn within. God, God, God. Say softly, I in the midst of me am mighty. Say quietly, be still. Speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. Let the breath be honest. Let the shoulders remember their place. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. Before Abraham was, I am. Closer than breathing, nearer than hands and feet. Peace, be still. The click may come, or only a cleanness of silence. Do not grasp, be a beholder. God, the only power, only power. Now, rise in gentleness. Move without hunting for signs, without searching for problems. Keep the inner refrain. The I within goes before me to make the crooked places straight. Where your foot falls, let it fall from presence. Take no thought for your life. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. If memory or symptom would argue, do not debate. Return to the center. God, God, God. Look neither left nor right for proof. Truth is its own evidence, and love is its own law. I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. Walk in that assurance. Stand still within as you go, and see nothing is broken. Blessed as you go. The Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord make his face shine upon thee and give thee peace. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow. You shall dwell secure